All right, Shalom. I'm back with another quick video. This one is just an update video on where I've been and a couple of other things. Firstly, is that word? Um, First and foremost, I have been here at my house, but I have not been on YouTube because of health circumstances that came about. And I can just get right on into that. Basically, I had an issue with my blood pressure. It had dropped too low. And it's mostly in part because of diet changes I did and some lifestyle changes I did. Um, Gradually over time, and then not so gradually over time, I made uh, a lot of changes all at once, and it just was not the best thing to do. So my blood pressure dropped really low, and I had got sick, like really sick, and so I had to take some time to recover myself and get myself back together. And I've been doing that. So basically, the changes I made, because one of my last videos I made was like a weight loss journey thing, and I changed that into a fitness journey because health is so important when we go into this stuff. And I'll tell you guys what worked and what didn't work for me. First and foremost, okay, we established my blood pressure dropped way too low. Here's the thing: for almost, what is this? The end of May. So almost a year now, maybe like 10 months, 10 and a half months, something like that. I've been eating a strictly plant-based diet, with the exception of holy days, of course. And even those are like extremely small portions, just out of obedience. But I mostly just eat fruits, vegetables, grains, and beans, legumes. So I'm not a salt user. I don't cook with salt. I don't intake a lot of salt. And when I started my plant-based diet almost a year ago, initially I dealt with more processed foods, but like I mentioned in my last video, I wanted to go like more so raw because I transitioned from processed foods to whole foods, and then I was solely whole foods, strictly whole foods, and then I wanted to go from whole foods being cooked foods and raw foods to mostly raw, eating a high raw diet. Um, my issue was more so the lack of sodium intake because, like I said, I don't cook with salt. I don't really like the taste of salt. It's salty. So, my sodium intake was like really low. So then when I started this fitness journey, what ended up happening was because I wasn't able to exercise for the entire time, pretty much, that I was doing this plant based diet, I wasn't physically able to exercise. So once I became well enough to exercise, I jumped right in there. That's the type of person I am. I'm just going to go full throttle from the gate. So I started off my test week. I had a test week where I tested intermittent fasting and I tested exercising to see how my body would react. Now, it was not a full week of it. It was a partial week. I did maybe like 3 days of intermittent fasting and 3 days of exercise to see how my body would respond. And everything was fine that first week. Here's where things got tricky. So the very next week I was like, okay, this went smooth these 3 days out of 7 days. So let me just jump right in. So I did the intermittent fasting and I started off fasting for 16 hours with an 8-hour eating uh, window. And that was for 5 days a week. And then I would fast 24 hours, 2 days a week. I know, right? Just extreme from the beginning. So, in addition to that, I have to laugh at myself because I'm extremely ambitious. Like, until I can't do something, I'm convinced I can do it. And I'm still convinced I can do it. I just have to do it differently. So, here's the thing. Okay, so I started off with that. I would fast 24 hours, 2 days a week, and then I did the 16/8 intermittent fasting. In addition to exercising like a minimum of 5 days a week. I would do six sometimes and only not exercise 1 day a week, which I set aside for Shabbat. So you come from, and I'm talking about me, you come from 10 months of not being able to exercise to changing your diet to a high raw diet with practically no sodium intake. Some extensive exercise because I would do some high impact cardio. Low impact for me is walking 3 miles. That's the low impact for me. Um, High impact is like, I can't even explain it to you. You would just have to see it and be like, why would you want to do that? But I mean, it's fun. You get into it. I enjoy it. I like it. And I actually, after I record this second video, I'm going to exercise and then come back and record more videos before I meal prep. So, yeah, back to what I was saying. I went from 10 months to not being able to really move about and stuff like that. But I was slowly building my strength. But then once I got that boost of energy and, physically I was able to go for it, I went all the way for it. Like, just did way too much. So yeah, I went ahead and went a little crazy, a little, you know, overboard. So I'm depleting sodium with all this vigorous sweating, and I did this in a waist trainer. Yes, I did. And I had the plastic wrap thing. Don't even ask me what I was thinking. But it was good. I got some progress from that, and I'll talk about that. But after the second week, I had to take a break because I overexerted myself that fast. Like, I was just doing way too much too soon. I'm not I'm not always good at gauging uh gradually doing something. To me, that was gradually doing it, but apparently that was not realistic for me to go from no exercise to exercise 5 days a week and only eating, really fasting this intensively, because usually people would fast for like 2 3 weeks and then they extended an hour or two or something like that. Like the second week, I was like, okay, I'm doing 18/6 instead of 16/8. I'm gonna fast 18 hours a day, and then still fast 24 hours twice a week, and only eat in a 6-hour meal window time. So it was just a lot. If it sounds like a lot, it's because it really was, and it became kind of consuming because I had to keep up with all of this new stuff I was trying to do, and then the meal prep was like totally different, and I'm having to like really try to incorporate certain things to make sure I get the vitamins and stuff that I need. And so when I stopped eating certain things, then I was trying to replace them with other things, and it became kind of like a catastrophe, but whatever. So, um, yeah, I was actually eating in small amounts, but enough before, well, when I first started exercising, it was enough to sustain me at least. Um, when I switched out some of those things, because I meal prep, so if I switch out one thing, I just change everything completely. And so when I decided to stop eating bread, I took out the olives and stuff like that, which were sodium sources, and I did not replace them with anything. So that was the thing. So, I'm eliminating by changing my meal plan, my sodium sources, and then I'm sweating and I'm losing, from the sweat. I'm sweating out and depleting minerals and stuff like that, and I was not replenishing them. So I had to take a break, and I had to get my life all the way together and figure out, pinpoint what was going on, what I did wrong, what errors um, I was operating in, and adjust those. And even in that adjustment, to bring your blood pressure up, you have to do that gradually too. So it's been a process. It's really been interesting, an interesting process, but nonetheless, here we are back. I have got myself back to where I need to be in order to exercise again, because when my blood pressure was really low, I was pretty much put on bed rest specifically by my husband. He was just like, "You're not gonna do this, and you're gonna eat this, and you're gonna do this, and this, and this, and this." And so, of course, I did that. And I felt really bad because it was really stressful for him when all those times I almost fell out and stuff. And I get it, because who would want to see that? That's crazy. So, okay, so I know what I did wrong. And I had to adjust my diet. I do eat more cooked foods, mainly because of the type of person I am. Like, I'm not going to put salt on raw foods. I don't do that. I didn't even cook with salt, so I have to like adjust my taste buds to this food that, I mean, it's not super salty, but I don't like, so I like spice. So it's yeah. Okay, so I got that together. That salt water really helped, and just certain foods, and herbs like rosemary, licorice root, stuff like that. The salt water with the pink Himalayan salt, raisins, which I had on deck because I wanted to do some overnight oats, um, and staying away from those carbs, kind of. I have a potato addiction. I think I confessed that already. So I like carbs, I like starches, so I'm just trying to do all of that stuff more so in moderation, because those things help to lower your blood pressure, potatoes and stuff like that. But I need mine to be a little higher. And I did find out that it's going to be lower than someone who eats a standard American diet, because of the type of diet that I do eat. So it is going to be lower than average, but it's still in the healthy zone. It's just because of what I intake. So that's that. Got back on track. Everything was cool. I still but I didn't do any weigh-ins while I was getting myself together. But initially, well, so far up to today, I lost 7 pounds. So congratulations to myself. Um, I did suspend intermittent fasting when I was trying to get my blood pressure up, because I needed to eat more frequent meals that supported the promotion of raising the blood pressure. So, and I didn't even really eat meals. I was mostly like kind of snacking because I did not have an appetite. And over time, I gained my appetite back. But then some other crazy stuff happened, and I ended up losing my appetite. But that was more external than internal. So I just monitor. I have to monitor myself. I had to get this hair off my neck. I don't like hair touching my neck. So yeah, I backed down. I went from the eight. I was 16.8, went to 18.6, and now I'm back at 16.8 because this needs to be a more gradual thing. Until I get everything 100% where it needs to be. And I still work out. Uh, this is actually my will be my first full week of being able to exercise. So I'm just gonna stick with the 5 days for now, and maybe in a month or so I'll try to increase that. I did also increase my workout time because I always set a minimum of an hour, but I was pushing 2 hours. I was at an hour 45 minutes. Um, like high impact exercise. Y'all just pray for me. But I just stopped doing so much. But it's like so exciting when you first start, and it really felt kind of addictive because you would feel so good. And yeah, I just everything has to have a balance. So balance is key. So that's the update with my health and diet and fitness journey. Um, I did, and I know my husband was getting emails, but I did have someone ask me about the Bible giveaways because we did a Bible giveaway for during Feast of Purim, and that's actually an ongoing thing. I've been doing Bible giveaways for years, even before like I was in the truth, because I always believed that people needed the word, and we can get those Bibles like out of the dollar store, um, but they only cost $1 only, right? But a lot of people don't have them, even though they can just get them from the dollar store. So we would just go with whatever, um, excess money or the money that was donated, we would take and purchase Bibles and give those away. And usually at like a train station, not a train station, but a subway station. I call it a train station, but whatever. Um, go to like one of our local stations. We have a couple that are pretty close, and just rotate giving away Bibles there. Of course, with point of references and stuff like that. Um, yeah, because I believe people need the word. Like, we desperately do, especially now. Like, if never before, definitely now. So, that's an ongoing thing. And if you guys would like to donate or even participate, um, my husband's channel is Holy Vessel 34, and he has a donate button on his YouTube channel, to support the work. And so that's basically what that's for. Um, and hopefully we'll get to the point where we can do it um, twice twice like every other week, if not every week. But I would like to do it at least once a week. And I had a vision that we could get teams together, but of course that takes people, because the more people you have, the more people support, the more you can get out. So I'll be praying on that and working on that to see if the Most High will bless us with people who want to help get the word, literally the word, out there. And have different teams at different stations. We all go out at the same time with X number of Bibles and just put it out there. You know, you gotta do the work out here in these streets. So, yeah, that's what that is. If you guys want to support, definitely can do it that way. Um, and if you're in Maryland and interested in being a part of one of these teams that I don't have a name for, just a Bible pass out team for now, but just send me an email at minivessel31@gmail.com. We are in Maryland, so DMV, yeah. Um, what else? I don't want to miss anything, but I feel like this video has been really long, and I spent a lot of time talking about myself, and yeah. But I have some upcoming projects coming up. I have a couple of books. There'll be ebooks that'll be available soon for everybody. One is a recipe book for um, basic, like, everyday items. It's just a healthier alternative, um, all natural recipe book for stuff we use every day, like household cleaner, and how to make your own laundry soap and toothpaste and mouthwash and stuff like that. So, and the other one will be a tincture book, tonics, tinctures, um, and probably like some detox recipes. More likely than not, it'll be detox recipes. So I'm just finishing up that one. And when they are ready, I will make a video. And you guys, if you feel that to support that. There's definitely some good information up in there. So, yeah. And I was thinking, I don't know. I know of some people who already have some prayer lines established and Bible study, like conference calls established. And I'm looking into those things because, of course, we deal with sound doctrine. So I want to check it out before I recommend it. And if I decide not to go that way, then most high willing, I'll be establishing something myself. But of course, we always have to be prayerful and led by the Spirit to do so. So that is it. I want everybody to know. Well, first, thank you for everybody that contacted me, checked on me, fussed at me, demanded that I rest. Thank you, because I was still I was still trying to go for it, and I just couldn't. But I did try, so I thank you to all my sisters who reached out and stuff like that. And I will be following up with everybody today and tomorrow, just to touch base, um, and see what's going on. And that is it for this update video. Um, until next video, may the Most High continue to bless and keep you all. Shalom.